Hare Krishna. Welcome back to the series of discussing Bhagavad Gita. Today we shall be discussing text 29 from the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So text 29 is vepathuś śarīre me roma-harṣaś jāyate gāṇḍīvam samsrate hastāt tvak paridahyate. Translation: my whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my Gāṇḍīva bow is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. So here Arjuna is describing the symptoms which are being manifested in his body. Vepathuś śarīre me, my body is shivering. Now this shivering of body, vepathuś śarīre me roma-harṣaś jāyate, hair standing on end, all these symptoms, they exist in two conditions. One in the material condition, when a person is afflicted with too much fear or anxiety or stress, then a person feels the shivering of the body, or any material emotions for that matter. Even sometime in anger, people feel shivering of the body. So in material emotions of anger, fear or anxiety, sometimes one may feel all these symptoms. Sometimes out of fear also, the hair of the body stand on the end. But there is also symptoms in the spiritual ecstasy or immense spiritual happiness. Sometimes people also feel similar experiences of body trembling or hair standing on end, which is being described here. So Arjuna's symptoms are due to excessive fear of losing the life of his kinsman, because he could see, when he observed the army, he saw all the different varieties of relatives, namely grandfather, teachers, fatherly figures, children, grandchildren. So many different varieties of relationships were present on not just his own side, but the other side as well. That means if he had to win the battle, if we need to kill the enemies, all those relatives also need to be killed. So expecting the loss of life of those relatives was causing tremendous anxiety in the mind of Arjuna. He was feeling too much fear. And as a result of fear, he is experiencing these different symptoms of the stress. And, everyone does some point of time experiences, even material life especially, these symptoms. I remember many years ago, when I was living in New Vrindavan, one time it was a winter time, a lot of snow, and I was driving out of New Vrindavan to go somewhere for the program, and that was probably, very first few times when I was driving in snow, and somehow I lost the control of my car, and car went rolling in the valley. It didn't just slide in the valley, but it just went rolling. It went upside down and again came on the four wheels. So in this way, I went right in the valley along with the car. Fortunately, because I was in seatbelt, so nothing happened. Not a single scratch came, but when I came out of the car, I was feeling so fearful. I came out of the car, I came up on the road, And from road, I started walking to a nearest home, because those days cell phones were not common. So I didn't had any cell phone. So I wanted to go to some nearby home to call somebody from the temple to come and pick up me. And just walking to the nearest home, which was probably, I think, less than 300 feet, my legs were shivering, my whole body was shivering so much. I fell while walking, I was falling to the ground. At least 3 to 4 times I fell down because my legs were shivering too much. Not because of cold. I was warmly dressed up, but out of fear. So fear causes immense bodily symptoms. Out of especially fear, a person may have the shivering of the body, sometimes standing of hair on the end. Vepathuś śarīre mein roma-harṣaś jāyate. Gāṇḍīva samsrate hastāt. Arjuna was not able to hold Gāṇḍīva bow in the hand. It was slipping away from his mind, from his hand, because his hands were also shivering so badly. But the interesting thing is, all these immense symptoms of stress were there on Arjuna, but Krishna didn't tell him to go and seek some medical help. Krishna didn't tell him to go and take some medication on on the stress, due to the stress, to eradicate the symptoms. But Krishna described Bhagavad Gita. So one thing is for sure, of course we may do the needful. If sometime a person is not able to handle due to excessive stress or fears in life, he may seek the advice. But modern psychiatrists, they generally simply try to give some medication to cure the body, which simply numbs the symptoms of stress, but not going to the root cause to deal with the reason, the root cause of the stress, which is the weakness of the mind. So Arjuna was expressing here the weakness of the mind, and therefore all the symptoms which we are seeing are nothing but the weakness of the mind, which is manifesting on the body. So the real solution to this stress is understanding the realities, basic realities of life, which Krishna is going to describe in Bhagavad Gita. And the solution to the stress, as will be described in Bhagavad Gita, is taking to the process of devotional service. So this is the sum and substance of this particular verse. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.